An evangelist is now in trouble after he got involved in a certain sin. It got out of hand and he tried to hide it. And in the process of trying to hide this particular sin, it caught up with him. And right now, the law has descended heavily upon him. He's been arrested. And we're going to talk about that particular story. Structurality show with the daily Christian commentary video. If it's the first time over here, to be sure to check out the other videos that are down in the pinned comments. And I saw this story about yesterday. And it's a very wild story of what a person not lacking in the area of discernment, a person not noting the space of doctrine and how doctrine covers and would have protected her from seeing that she was dealing with a person who was going to be dangerous to her. This story here has all of those facts. We're talking about a man who's been an evangelist or a missionary from America down to Liberia. And he's been there for a couple of years, him and his wife. But now, him and his wife, they seem to have been doing two different mission work. His wife was in one area and he himself was in another area. And during this particular period of separation, this man got involved with a young lady and they started sparking up this entire fantasy of them having a relationship that might actually blossom to a marriage. This man went as far as even taking a traditional wedding, and he actually got him and this side chick got to a point of doing a little bit of a traditional wedding, and pictures have come out now showing all of that. Initially, when the story came out, there was this video where he was supposedly talking about what happened, but right now the lady has just woken up. Yes, the lady did survive his attack, which I will explain in a little bit. And now she has now given her side of the story of what she remembers. And some of the people that were in that area who saw what happened and rescued this girl have also spoken about what happened. And the story is looking very, very dark for this man then. And this all happened a day before he was assigned to go back to the United States. So Mandem got himself into this, and it looks like the hole is a lot more deeper, and he will be seeing himself in jail without a doubt. Now, where does this story start? Number one, I mentioned he was a married man. Okay. When I looked at their particular church that actually might have assigned them to Liberia, there were posts that goes as far back, I think about 2014, even videos all the way back to 2017. So they've been in mission work for a while. But it's not just them doing mission work in thing. It looks like Liberia was where they were sent out, and this might have been the area where they were kind of like working at their mission work and spreading the gospel. Now, when you listen to videos of them, they sound like pretty much people that are very much passionate for the gospel. But if you do not cap, if you do not come and handle those passions before they get out of control, it can lead to all kinds of things. And I think this is what happened here. At one point in this mission, him and his wife might have been doing two different missions. And it might have been for a very lengthy period of time, which is something that personally I've spoken against. You might have heard the videos that I've done on Lucy Natasha and her husband, who like staying apart for months and months. And here that might have been the case, because this man went on, got a side chick. When he got the side chick, he promised to marry her. Now, this is where the subject matter of doctrine comes in place. If she was a Christian, understood Christian doctrine, she would have understood polygamy is not a thing. And since this man then is married, that's not something that's an open plan. It's not like something that you can just be like, oh yeah, we'll think about doing a polygamy situation over there, because doctrinally Christianity is not open for that, right? Now, if that's one area, her low alertness will become something that's very, very essential later on when we get into the story, but in a very sad way. So, first of all, he promises to marry her. He even goes as far as doing a traditional wedding, and pictures came out showing that he was doing a traditional wedding. Now, you'll find this particular detail of the traditional wedding very crucial with pictures and everything that I'm showing you. Why? Because later on, when he gets interrogated about what happened, his story will contradict these details of what we see in these pictures. Right? So they do this traditional wedding, and you can see they're going through all the coconut thingy that you see Nigerians do. Now, it's not very clear at the moment how long this relationship had been, but a few days before he was assigned to going back to his country, finds out the lady is pregnant. And when he finds out that the lady is pregnant, he tries to get the pregnancy. And he might have succeeded with that, but then that was not enough. I guess he wanted to get rid of the evidence of this particular affair. And therefore, this is what he then planned out. Took his car, went and drove to her, and made it out to be like they're going out on a date. And when he made it out as if they were going out on a date, the lady accepted, went, and they were together. This is where the plot that he had for her. Now, bear in mind, about an evangelist. Man them for God and all that. All of a sudden, man them turned killer. When faced with repentance over his sins, he couldn't face it. He thought to eliminate the person whom he had been involved with, a person whom he had brought into. So he takes the lady, the day goes by, he parks on the side of the road, and he tells the lady he wants to take a lick on the side of the road. And when he's doing so, he goes out with a knife. He says to the lady, oh no, it's in case I see something that might try to attack me, I can, any animal or any creature, I can use this to defend myself. All right, he's just taking a leak over here. But looks like the particular area where he was a bit crowded because he wasn't able to do anything there. He gets into the car, he drives again. After driving a little bit more, he gets out of the car again. He says he wants to take a lick again. Now, your red flags might be going off. You might be asking, isn't the lady's red flags also going off? We don't know, because what happened then happened. It is attempted murder at this point because there was something that actually happened. He gets out of the car. He manages to get the lady out of the car. He might have told her some story, some fanciful story to get her out of the car. Dude, you were just going to pee. So it shouldn't be a big deal that you need assistance. Nobody needs assistance. You have to go to pee. So that's another area where a red flag would come off. But the lady doesn't see anything. She goes out of the car. And the moment she steps out, she hears something on her head go poof. And this man starts attacking her with his knife. Now, I can show you those pictures. They're very, very graphic. But if you search for Lucas Richards and Liberia, the pictures will come up. You'll see them online. There are websites that have published them and so forth. And so he attacks her. But fortunately for the young lady, she's a bit unconscious, a little bit hazy. Some young people right close by, bike guys, guys who drive bikes and stuff like that, they see this entire thing happen and they rush over to rescue this girl. He had just started trying to cut her neck. Yeah, he tried to slit her neck open. And he didn't get that far in, but he had cut her very seriously. Okay, he had cut it to a point where you could see a little bit of an inside of the thingy. It's too much. But they got there, they fought this man off. They got hurt in the process. The young people that tried to help her, they got hurt in the process, but they managed to secure her life. The man tried to enter his car and tried to run away. There is also reports that he tried to actually take the girl in the car with her, but they were already there. That was not going to happen. He tries to run away. They caught up with him, and now he's arrested. There's a video you'll find where he's trying to explain what happened. Now, according to the young people, that those bike men that rescued the girl, that's what they say. They say they saw him attack her. They went over there. They tried to rescue her, and he tried to run away, and that's it. But according to him, he says he was parked on the side of the thing, trying to fix up his car. He says his car had a breakdown. This lady was just standing on the side. This is the first contradiction. This lady was just standing on the side, and she was hit by a bike, and he tried to help her. Her head was hurt. Blah 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 blah. A story that's not even there. Okay. Now, when the pictures came out showing that he had been in a traditional marriage, it completely collapses his story.
From there, we decided that I could drop her. I don't have to take her back to her parents. And she's getting a motorbike to go back home. And I needed to check my back right tire because I've been having a problem with that tire. And I could feel when I was driving that something was not correct. So while she was waiting for motorbike, standing on the coal tar, I'm down there literally trying to jack up my thing. Next thing I know, a motorbike comes out of nowhere and hits her. At that point, I leave what I'm doing and I go to check on her and help her out and ask her if she's okay. I bring her up onto the coal tar. And at this point, this motorbike driver that just hit her is yelling out to other motorbikes, KK, whatever that's driving by, and this big lorry, big truck, big red truck that was carrying, I don't know, a dump out truck, something like that, telling them that I hurt the girl, that I did something to the girl.
And then the bike people misinterpreted him helping her as if she was attacking her. And so that's when they pounced on it. Anyway, you just wanted this lady just to use her. And now you wanted to get rid of her the day before you catch your flight. You thought you could get away with this entire thing and just bury the hatchet on this. And by the time they try to figure it out, you'll be out of the country. And so she gets out. She gets hit by something on the back of her head. And in the state of this drowsiness, this is when he started to try and cut her. Okay? To cut her on the neck. He did get a little bit deep, but she was able to survive because those guys got there before he could actually do more damage than that. And so now this guy, his church offered a statement to say, you know, there's this entire thing that is happening in Liberia with Pastor so-and-so. His wife is now also finding out that the man them had done a traditional wedding with another woman. He had planned to marry another woman. He had planned an entire, and now he had gotten her pregnant and he tried to kill her. Her husband is now a killer in an attempted killer in another country. On top of all of that, Manthem was a preacher for years. When his sins caught up with him, he didn't want to confess up. He tried to hide it. And as a process of trying to hide it, that's where now he is. If you look online, you'll find videos of him supposedly trying to explain what happened and whatnot. But when you put the two and two together, he's not making sense. It's not making sense. You were fixing your tire, you were fixing your car, and then this lady got bumped by a bike. But then the bike guys misinterpreted. Wasn't the bike guy that bumped her there to explain that no, it was an accident, it was not that. And so his story is not make sure at the moment. When his last got over his head, he allowed himself to become what we are seeing right now. And so the story is still current. You might still find reports still coming out, popping up and down, in and out, here and there. When I saw the story, I thought, this is wild. When a person does not, and that's exactly what we're just talking about right now. You know, there is limits to how far a person would go as they have the conviction of God. At a point when you had an affair with that woman and she got pregnant, that is your point of. But that's not enough. He goes to removing the thing, and then that's not enough. He has to try and kill this lady so that he can go back and try and live another life back in America again. Jeez. Humans are something else, man. Humans are something else. They never cease to amaze me. The thing that I wanted to note, when a person does not, their discernment, their guard goes down, it exposes them to all kinds of things. Now, apart from their guards being down, if a person hears something that is contrary to the Bible and they allow it, it can open you to all kinds of things. And now, this man who went so far, I thought he had become invincible, that he could lie to an entire family, entire congregation. But I just thought it was quite something. Do not slip up or forget the fundamentals, because the fundamentals help you understand where you are. It's Ricky. Y'all have a good one.